We did it. Look at that smooth transition. Wait. Oh, okay.
I was going to say, I just got back from hair and makeup. Oh, geez. I was just like, go away. I'm done. I look beautiful. I don't need any work.
Gave me heart palpitations a second because you just were this. And I thought, oh, no. Look at that push.
So have I just never noticed the CNN style scrolling, or is that new? Because that was freaking hilarious.
That's new. Yeah, there's
Okay.
a little, they got like these, lower thirds we could do so we can hide those or we can bring those back or we can say things, so once in a while I'll pop up something like that.
Like
but yeah, then there's
insults,
a hacker section. So I did when I've been doing, so those of you joining, hello, welcome. I'm Brian. This is Joe. We're going to talk about and show hacking of Ninja Hacker Academy. But I did this ticker I have going now. I pop up regularly on our Tuesday Tools Day broadcast, which I've been
spoilers for the live stream.
Got it. Okay. Which, I mean, I guess I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that should be implied. Maybe if you were like, I'm going to broadcast a CTF. Well, then, okay. Right. There's probably going to be spoilers. But I also wouldn't want somebody being like, well, dude, I was going to figure out the reverse shell and you just showed me, So, yeah, but anyway, that's what we're doing. So a month ago, let's see, you weren't available. You're a good pal of mine, Paul Wilsh from Unstoppables.
Just saw him last night. They had an Unstoppable event in town. So went over there, chatted with him a bit at that. So
yeah. And folks in Boise, not Boise, because that's what noobs say, but Boise area is a real, from my perspective, coming down there, it's like a real active like security community. Lots of meetups, lots of cool people who sharing with their knowledge. I love being down there. So I guess any of our Boise friends should
get involved and go. Yeah,
absolutely. All right. Well, we're back. Oh, let me do let me do that. Nope, let me do this. Okay. Well, I think without further ado, what I'd like to do, Joe, if it's okay with you, because I needed help remembering this, is look at just a super quick, like, what is Ninja Hacker Academy? Where did we get last month so that we can figure out how to hopefully move forward in Pwning this Active Directory environment today. Is that
good?
Let's
give the recap. Yep.
Okay, let's turn on the screen for this. Let's put us over to there. So we got the little CNN things. Yeah. Okay, so here's the short version. And I think, let's see, I just want to stay away from that. The short version, in case my mom's tuning in going, I don't know what Ninja Hacker Academy is.
Oh, your mom knows by now, though. You're saying like maybe my mom or something, but your mom, she's pretty good at Ninja Hacker Academy.
Right, she's got some mad ninja skills.
It's where you learned it.
That's yes. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
My mom had some mad cybersecurity skills.
Yeah.
Sorry. Both my parents, they nod along and smile as I talk about turbo roasting and hash and GRB TGT. But yeah, Ninja Hacker Academy, that is part of the Goad family, Game of Active Directory. So if you look that up, we've talked and pwned extensively the full Game of Active Directory network, which you can spin up with some spare hardware, and it's full-fledged, chock full of vulnerabilities that you will find in the real world if you do Active Directory pen testing.
Right. Are you on the Goad sales team? Nice work.
I should be. I certainly would love to. I mean, I really am.
You have to make it up in volume, though, because it's free. I mean, it's open source. So you're like, I am selling the heck out of this, but I am making nothing.
And the fact that I went into their Discord and said, hey, Goad folks, what's the licensing like for this? I think that was actually your recommendation. Go talk to them, see if you could use it for commercial training purposes. And they said, yeah, go for it. The license allows that. So in the background, yes, the next version of our pen test class is Goad based. And I have to say, even though I've been doing pen testing for a while, it's so nice to even go in. I mean, Goad has like maybe not all, but many of the Active Directory certificate services vulnerabilities. I don't run into those every day. So if it's like ESC like 4, I go, oh, what is that again? And how do well, great, practice it,
exactly.
I just can't say enough things about it. But in kind of going through it, you and I pwned this on the YouTube series, the ECM version they have. And then they have a couple sizes of Goad. And we went full Goad, but you can have a smaller couple environments to attack. But then this was the one that I hadn't ever really heard much about. And this is designed a little differently, the NHA, the Ninja Hacker Academy, because it's a bit more, hey, deploy this like you would Goat or any of the other flavors. But there's 2 domains. We're going to start with nothing except essentially an IP to target, and take care now. Good luck. Bye bye then, and that's it. So that is I talked to a couple other testers about this, because one thing that definitely makes this different is you start with no cred. So right, you deploy this in the environment. Here I am on my Goat, on my Linux box that's in the NHA environment, but they don't give you an AD cred to work with. So you have an IP to, nudge you in a certain direction. And that's it. So what we found, Paul and I, last month, we took a look, and actually that's, I guess, to my lab, that's sort of a typo. It's not .21. It actually, in here, the subnet may vary depending on how you deploy this, but usually the IP,
the last octet is
the same. But anyway, you'll if you're looking for it, look for things with web interfaces. This was kind of the first place we poked around, and after exploring this and doing things like when you go through OSCP, maybe not these days, but when I was going through it, many of the boxes would have hidden comments in the view source.
So you guys were talking about that a bit. A lot of CTFs will do things like that. And again, now the question is that still as common? I don't know, because I am so over OSCP and CTFs, except when it comes to Windows ones like this. So that's what's so fantastic. Back when you and I were doing our OSCP, heavily Linux focused, it just wasn't as good at preparing you for what we were pen testing. Even now, just Windows Active Directory. And so they've updated a lot, but I think, again, like, this is fantastic for really realistic, real world pen testing skills. Ninja Hacker Academy and just Goat in general is where it's at right now.
Completely. And that turned out to be the case. I was looking for things, comments in the index page, pictures that you would download and then look for metadata, and I think I shared that with Paul last month.
You did,
I did feel like once I got in the real world that, every web app is kind of bad. It's like, clever riddles wrapped inside mysteries and encryption and brute forcing. I mean, and it's good. I got a lot of good exposure to tools and methodology, but I think I was vastly unprepared.
Yeah, it's the difference between having a good mindset of how to hack stuff and the practical skills that you're going to need in a Windows Active Directory environment. So, I mean, what I loved about the OSCP was the fact that it prepared you how to think in out of the box unconventional ways, but the practicality of using EXIF to look at the metadata of a file,
right.
I'm sure somebody gets some value out of it. But in the real world, I sure didn't. So
no, I have yet to go to EXIF data an image and find an NTLM hash to the domain admin.
Exactly.
That hasn't happened.
Darn it. I tried for a while, but it just didn't pan out.
But when and speaking of keeping it real world, keeping it applicable, when you look through this app, that's what we eventually ended up in this page here, where you could do a little searchy search. And by the way, this is so fun. And by fun, I mean absolutely rage-inducing. I don't know what kind of bug it is between Proxmox KVM, or if it's a problem between chair and keyboard, but just only in this Proxmox environment, I have this problem where the keyboard poops out. But get this, not for, let me see if this is true. Okay, not for terminal, just over here in Firefox. No more. Oh, it's back. You fixed it.
You were kind of struggling with that a little bit, I think, in the last video with Paul too. You kept saying, like, my keyboard's wigging out. I don't know what's going on. So that is weird.
So the fix was go to a different app and come back in. But or if I closed Firefox and brought it back, it comes back. But anyway, so we fed some different garbage into this student search. And let me go back to this box. What we found was a SQL injection of vulnerability that when we fed it a SQL injection payload from SQL map, that would pop us an OS shell. And I shared at that time that I found this the extremely slow way. But like at OS shell, if we were to type dir here and hit enter in real time, we'd have to just call this segment done for the day, because it takes about 40 minutes to list what's
keep
there.
doing it.
So I keep, you get, I'm hip. What is it? Three of them? Give me a freaking hug, Scott. Yeah, it does turn into that.
This was one of the first tangents, by the way. So tangent to Austin Powers. Take one.
Take one. Yep. Okay, so that's behind us now. So for the sake of this, I redid that capturing of what we found in the OS shell, which was I'm sure there's more efficient ways to do this, such as like trying to get a proper reverse shell payload going. But I just started doing what I do on pen test, where if I can talk to the C drive via SQL, I'll just do dir::, and I'll let that come back and go, oh, interesting folder here. Well, much trial and error later, I did finally find a file folder path with an interesting file, and that was SQL conf. So I did the type command, which is like catting on Linux, but on the Windows side. So type, and then that file. And then about 40 minutes later, and I even snipped for brevity here, as we come down here, a big win we had was an SA password. So the highest admin rights at the SQL level. So what we were talking about with Paul is, okay, pecking around with this super molasses slow SQL reverse shell is not cutting it. Let's try to upgrade and get a quote unquote true shell. So I think I got all that set for today. I used NetExec's MySQL protocol to upload this file NHA shell. So this, I won't redo all of this, but this was out of the Sliver C2 framework. You kind of set up a listener and you say, I want to create a evil exe that when run will establish us a Sliver C2 session. But understandably, Windows isn't going to like that. And warning, I guess, for anybody playing with this is that Windows Defender is alive and well and updated in NHA. So you're going to have a hard time. You'll have at least a little harder time just giving it a vanilla exe. That's going to get gobbled. So I showed off or at least talked about a commercial offering, which is macro pack, shell code pack. Do you have anything? The Ballast Kit group, yeah. Do you have anything you like or know about? I've had people say that what is it? That there's some other packers out there that are on GitHub or are on GitHub sponsorship.
Yeah, I've tried a couple. It seems like Ballast Kit is the most effective. I mean, it tends to work over and over again, whereas a lot of the other ones are very hit or miss, at least what I'm finding. So if the audience knows of some others that work well, because Ballast Kit, as we discussed, is a paid solution, but I feel like get your money's worth. So
you do. And the biggest thing, even just in the last week or so of pen testing, it's so nice to go into their Slack or Discord and be like, hey, I'm trying to bypass leading brand Y. Here's the exact parameters I used. To give you a great example, somebody was like, oh leading EDRX now has better protection for whatever. Run the same packer or generation command, but then inflate the payload by 20 megs, and then it'll sail right by EDR. And like, that seems like almost like a silly guess that I would do. Well, let's just blow it up and make it a fat exe. And then sure enough, boom, popping, session shells. And it's like, oh, this is so great. So, whereas, as you said, you do a crowdsourced one or a Patreon sponsored one, it may be a while. You might not have quite the attentive audience that like on the daily is going to go, this doesn't work anymore. How do you get around this other thing? And it's a pretty cool community. So as I said last week, I'll say anytime I feel worth the money. So that's what NHA shell is. So we use this command to upload it just to the public folder of the SQL server. I'll talk about this in a moment. Just while I was here, I uploaded something called not print spoofer. And then last thing I did was kick off via interacting via SQL. I fired our Sliver C2 initial payload, and that is now here. So if I look at sessions, hello. Oh, hello, SQL.
Alive.
Good to see you. But here's the conundrum from last time. We're in here as NT Authority Network Service, and that is limiting. So if I go use this one and say shell, it'll ask me if I'm an adult, which today I am. And I can go like net local group administrators. I could try like the net command to make a new local user, or if I had a low priv AD account, I could try to add it to local admin, but it's going to say, nope, you do not have that permission.
Yeah.
So the conundrum we were left with was, okay, cool. How can I somehow upgrade this shell, do some sort of privilege escalation to get to a place where I can dump hashes, fully explore the C drive, all those kind of things. So in, just kind of reading about it and being part of the pen test community, many people were like, hey, what you got to go grab is this, there's a whole, there's that whole bucket of potato attack, right? That too. For
the hop potato. What are they all like?
The Patam or whatever for relay or for coercion stuff. But then there's potato, like Idaho potato, like
exactly. I should know all these.
Silver. I mean, there's all different cute names of potato. And some, as I don't remember right off the top, but some are labeled as a no fix, basically always applicable privilege escalation because of the following reasons, right? But the other one that kept coming up over and over again that people are like, if you can get this to run, you'll be golden. And that is print spoofer. So they abuse impersonation privileges through the print spooler service. And so I think maybe this will, this is actually kind of where we're at. Okay, who am I priv? They have permissions of local service. Yeah. So what they're running is print spoofer plus a command, and then the command, whatever that may be, in their little loop video here, it's just a PowerShell prompt, I think. Right. But that will spawn with, let's see if we can catch it before it starts over. Okay, they run PowerShell and it's running as a system. Yeah, who am I? I'm system.
Yep.
So the way I went about this for NHA was to once again go over to Shellcode Pack, make a download print spoofer, which is just I think they might even make it available to, or you can have the exe or you can build it. But I ran that through Ballast Kit, so hopefully Defender would just leave it alone and think it's as benign as bad, right? And then the way I went about it here is actually, let me get back into, let's see, sessions. Let me get into this guy right here. And then I did shell. Bad upsec. I get it. That's okay for this purpose. And then I issued this command. So we've got my obfuscated print spoofer, cleverly titled not print spoofer, right?
Yeah, nobody would guess what that
blue is. Team would never know. I'm having it run our initial C2 beacon, right? Yeah. So it's going to run it, but it's going to run it with system privileges.
Yeah.
So that, and I'll get that cooking right now because that takes a little bit of time. But if everything works according to plan, like Heath Ledger from the Joker, doesn't he say that? It's all part of the plan. Then we eventually back here, if I back out of this now and just hang out here for a bit, we should start to see this phone home. While we're waiting for this to phone home, I just have to say I've been using this more, Sliver, using it more to kind of augment internals, even though they're assumed compromised internals where we have a credit in there. And that's been really fun. It's just kind of helped me stay a bit more organized as far as where I have high privilege fingerprints, if you will, or hooks into different systems. It's just sort of nice to go, what do I have again? Okay, I've got 5 shells, one's low priv, 4 high priv. Okay. I guess it just helps me feel like I'm
stay organized, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more organized. And
there's
good.
Session.
We'll look at this. Let's take a look at this again. I mean, Just before I get off this tangent and back on track, this Sliver C2 does have built-in. If you're gonna put this on a domain somewhere and host it for WAN side C2 shells, it's got built-in Let's Encrypt creation, which is nice.
Right.
And it seems like everything does these days,
right.
But it's so nice when you can set up your DNS and be like, make me an HTTPS listener that listens on, not7minsec.com. And it's like, okay, hold on, generate. Yep, we're good. And then in another couple commands, you can stand up fake web content as well. Make like a fake blog with bogus content.
Yeah.
AI could generate. I guess just to be able to stand that up in about 5 minutes just makes a tester feel good. You know what I mean?
Very efficient.
Yep. Okay, wonderful. So here we are with our system shell. Now I'm going to show you something that has come in handy a few times for me when I'm in this situation. So I'm going to use space the session name. So we'll get in here. I'll just paste it in here. I would normally, and when I first ran through this my first time ever, I did just a classic whoops, there it is. A classic Mimikatz dump like that. Interestingly, since this is maybe like almost more than 2 months, because eight weeks in a row for our Tuesday Tools Day, I've been playing with this. So I feel like I have a little bit of history. The last couple times, Mimikatz half worked, and then both of these sessions that you see here were killed immediately. It's like the ruse was up. Windows was like, holy.
It's like, that's enough. That's enough. No more abuse from you, sir.
Like it's my dad yelled at me for staying up too late. Like, okay, you're watching R-rated Chuck Norris movies. We got pizza. You spilled the Pepsi, and it's 3 a.m. You're done, and then everything was done. So I was reading through some other pen test blogs and seeing a lot of people, and I know that this is not new, but I don't think of it often enough as an alternative to dumping with Mimikatz is doing a nano dump.
Oh, that's a blast from the past, huh?
Yes, which is built right in to Sliver as well. I didn't show this time around, but Sliver has this kind of big module called the Armory.
Yep.
It's full of all these other tools that you can just say install the whole bag, and it takes a few minutes. But we've got a fully loaded, I think, Armory system here. So the context for that, I'll show you. Let's see, we're using this system level session. So I'm going to do a PS. Here's kind of the steps of it. You look through, find the ID for LSAS.
Right.
Okay, so that's so the ID 572. So I have a short memory. You don't, but I do. So I'm going to write it down. And then if I go, let's see, I don't need to see the rest of it. You can always go, I think, nano dump help, maybe. No, how about help nano dump? And it'll say, yeah, this will create a mini dump of LSAS. And so what you need is you need to call it. You need to specify the PID that we just got, the name of whatever you want to call it, where you want to write it, and then a signature, which is a string associated with evasion. So I'm just going to use the default because I'm not as familiar with nano dump. I don't know. Do you know what the different strings might be?
No, not at all.
So I'm going to do, okay, nano dump, and it was what? 572. And then here's something that always trips me up. If I'm going to dump out to a file in this context, I got to do double /
escape it. Yeah.
Yep. So let's do users temp joe.docx. Yep. And then write file. Oh, there we go. Okay. Write file is 1, write the file, 0, go fileless. Let's just write it just so we can do the steal that file and then extract what we need. And then I'm going to do PM DM. Maybe it would have just done it, but let's see. Nano dump. Okay. Got output the path, users temp, Joe.
That was invalid.
Valid. Okay. Let me do it like.
Users temp. Public.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. Let's do users public. Show doc. Okay. There it is. Now, straight from this, this is nice. Straight from this context, we know the we know where joe.docx is, so we can do with, I'm pretty sure with double backslashes. Users public joe.docx. Okay, we got it. Yep. And it is just sitting in the home folder. So let me go over to a basic shell. Let's list it out. It does give it a funky name, which is fine, but just because it annoys me, I'm going to do that. And then let's do, except I do want to be in, I don't think I have cats available right here. No, that's okay. Let's just get into executable shell. I'm not going to update now. It's running. Let's do cats LSA dump. No, LSA. Hold on. LSA mini dump.
Mini dump. Yeah.
Mini dump, and it's Joe. Oh, that's in my home folder, isn't it? Hold on a second. I think I need to do this real quick. I'm gonna move Joe to the. This always trips me up too.
Yeah, it did last time too.
Yes.
Funny. Let's say last 7 times, Brian. Let's just be honest.
Let's be honest that I can't remember where my home folders are from whatever context I'm in. Let's try that and go back to here and now joe.docx. That makes a person feel good. So we can start to sift through here to see what goodies there are. Now I'll double check with the skim. Of course, in a real pen test, right? For me anyway, I sit and I drool and stare without blinking, going, please let there be a DA cred.
Right.
Please let there be a DA hash. Let there be something. I think what we end up with really, there's a local user. I'm pretty sure the big money we're to come away with is actually just the SQL system hash. That's our first account. So again, we've done all this work just to get like a machine cred. So I'm gonna steal that as a point of reference for now. There's the hash of the SQL box. So let me just get that pasted in. And now we could do so now we can actually do a regular Bloodhound dump or Sharphound to pull down and understand what the heck is this environment? How big is it?
Yeah.
Are there insecure relationships, etc. So I'm going to do, let's see, I might do a little bit copy pasty just to.
Did you want to take another tangent right now, by the way?
Absolutely.
Because you did give a tangent, alert that their tangents will be had. So did you see the new Bloodhound release, version 8?
I don't think I did. No, I saw the one that was what was it? More SQL, a PowerShell based one that was supposed to really get in the weeds for SQL.
Well, they've added a bunch of new features and tables and a bunch of stuff. So when you get a chance, I think maybe that would be worth maybe a walkthrough or something too. Lots of new features. Lots of people are doing walkthroughs, but I think it's hey, let's use it in Ninja Hacker Academy or something like that to show you in context to stuff that we've already done. That makes sense.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay.
Added tables and things like that to make, when you have a big dump, instead of seeing it in the graphical format, you can flip to a table format, kind of like this, where you're seeing things in order so that you can keep track of stuff. Lots of new features that they released with version 8. So back from Tangent Town, but
but that's a good one.
Yeah.
You keep us on the you keep us on the rails. So I'm gonna do, actually I think I could do it. Excuse me. I could do the Bloodhound collection with just the hashes, but I wrote this down as this is okay. This is great. I'm gonna probably run into about 3 problems. But I'm kind of glad we did, because we had to fix this the first time around too. It kind of seems like my computer doesn't know where academy.ninja.lan is. And that is because I've only run into this a few times where DNS was screwed up on a pen test, but this range we're in, I think there's a virtual Debian router that's actually doing the backend stuff.
That's what you showed last time.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back up to the command I keep handy, which is I'm going to let netexec build us a host file based on the subnet. So again, when you start this range, you won't have a credential, right? But it's okay. You just supply it nothing, and it will just do an SMB connection through 10.7.10. Everything. Every host it finds, it'll assemble a nice host.txt for you. So if we take a look at that, oh, so beautiful. And then the normal place that lives is here. Here's what's being referenced right now, right? So there's no reference to these, so no wonder we can't find them. So we will do something like this. I'll cat the host file that I just made, this one, and then just append it to that guy.
You've upped your game since the last time. You did the old copy and paste, so look at you go.
I mean, that's for
command line kung fu.
That's for noobs, right? Look at that. Oh, the best of both worlds. The old school.
No more copy and paste for you, sir.
Nope. And look at this. Look at this use of up arrow. I could do this all day. Go back to here. Now here's where we'll probably run into problem number 2. We do that. Okay. Clock skew too great. Now this is something I know I can probably fix with I don't know. I think the DCs that come along here or something are, I don't know if they're hard coded to China
different time zone.
Yeah, it seems easy, but I went and I kind of told all the computers, hey, I'm in Central Time. Let's all be happy. It doesn't work. So right now, I have this semi kind of hacky thing where I utilize the fake time package to sync up to the domain controller. So right now it thinks I'm 14:35 Eastern. Watch me with this fake time command. I'm going to sync up with the domain controller here, and you'll see the difference. Yeah, 14:35 was my time, but that DC time is that.
Yeah.
So let's do a take 2 on that. Ba-blam. There we go. So we have a curb cache file for SQL. I will export verify CC name equals SQL. That's the one. Not sure why so many backslashes, but that's what tab complete is for, right? And then just in the interest of time, I'm going to do a little copy paste because I have some of this. I think these are exact working commands. Let's run Bloodhound. Let's get a zip of everything we find. We're going to collect everything. You could collect just sessions, just groups, just this, just that. We're going to do the domain of academy.ninja.lan. I'm just going to pass it my cache file and not ask for a password. And my username is SQL $. And again, like you were pointing out before, some command, actually, I think a lot of command line tools don't love special characters, especially $. So we escape that with backslash.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember name server. I think I had to also point to that DC as a DNS server as well. For some reason, I think the collection wasn't working unless I did that. But there we go. Zip, zap, zingo. We've got a pretty little zip. Now I'm wondering, you said the new Bloodhound was what, like 8?
I thought version 8.
Okay. So what I was going to use, and I would assume their
community did get updated as well. Is that what you're talking about?
So I was going to use the Bloodhound CLI to spin up the web interface.
Oh, okay.
To put all this in. It says latest release is version 0.1.8 of this tool, but we'll see. So let me just do a little bit of, oops. Let me go. I'm going to go out of this for now and go git clone that. And right here is fine. Let's see. Oops, Bloodhound. And then I think, oh no, you know what? I take that back. I don't think I did it right from there. I think it went Bloodhound community. Oh, they have a, I'll throw this in the chat. They have a Bloodhound community quick start. That is what got me better results. That's in the chat now if anybody wants that. Let me take that back one more time. They have a nice little copy paste thing as well. Let me get rid of that really quick. Oops. Just in case it's gonna. And yes, and yes. Okay, let's do Kaplow. This is just straight off that link. So it's nothing but a bunch of downloading and decompressing commands. Here we go. And let's do, just give it to me right here. Just for organizational purposes, I'm going to move that to BH. Okay. And let's do Bloodhound CLI install. So this I think was a big, is this sudo install Docker compose? This I think was a big gift, because I don't know about you, I had a hard time with like Neo4j and kind of standing up all the pieces, and it was a big pain in the butt. And now they've got this Bloodhound CLI package, which is right from the SpectreOps folks. And if you just want to, quickly be able to spin up all the pieces and have a web interface to now ingest that zip file, oh man, does this make it easy. And then when you're done with it too, you can run the same command but uninstall, and then it just wipes it clean. So personally, I don't know how you feel. When I'm on a pen test, I really like to I'll do the initial zip file collection, but I just have like a beefier box that is like a it's sort of snapshotted, and then I spin up an instance like this, look at their data throughout the engagement,
right,
and just revert.
Kind of keep it up too in another monitor, so you
can
kind of get a map of the network. And it gets confusing, right? You do so many pen tests that you're like, wait, what was the name of that server again? Wait, oh yeah. What am I doing? Especially if there's like, don't tell, but sometimes we work on more than one pen test at a time, right? And you're like, which customer am I in today?
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've been having that. It's like, were you guys the one that had web client a bunch of places, or you had the, okay, so there we go. It's set to go. They give you a URL you can hit and an initial password. I'm going to flip to the GUI quick, but here's what I like to do to make my life easier is go something like this, pw.txt. That way.
No, Brian, you wouldn't show a bad security practice like that. I know you wouldn't.
No, I just, it's totally temporary, but it does make it a little bit easier when I do this. And then just to make Joe, well, let me make sure it works first.
Yeah, don't delete it. I was going to do all that for nothing.
I was going to nuke it right there, and I thought for sure I'll make an idiot out of myself. This was always, well, I think do they tell you here too? Log in as admin. Okay, I remember the first time going, is this a cloud? Do I need to give them my email address? I don't want my customer data where they can see it. Okay, so then good security practice here, right? Got to go.
SW.
So now you can do, now you can do winter or summer 2025. So there we go. Right. Okay. And we're in. Just to make Joe happy, we're going to come over here. Boom. No more. Except it's probably
it's probably in your history.
I was going to say, is it in history? Okay. So here we go. All stood up, all the dependencies, all Dockerized, all pretty little maids all in a row. It's wonderful. So let's upload and see. Now the question is again, here I've always found this to be a bit confusing as well, because we want to go, I think I was in an Exegol prompt when I pulled down that domain data, right? So it's like, how do you get there from here? And I think if I just type a /, then it kind of turns this into an interactive area. So I think I can go like, okay, Cali and then dot, and it should offer me
there you go
choices, and we just kind of work our way down. And oh geez, okay, that did a super autocomplete. Yeah, let's upload that, and here we go. While I'm I don't know how to account for this yet, but while we're waiting for the ingestion, was on a test very recently where I don't know if I don't know what control is doing this, but where my Bloodhound is regularly getting killed during collection, and that's really annoying and problematic, because if you like unzip, is that right here? If you unzip this, if you've never looked before, I mean you have, but our friends, you get kind of a JSON file per kind of key element of LED, right? And if you like just get users and groups, cool. But if you're blind to how they relate to computers,
right,
that
does
can
not
tell
help.
you, it could be telling you half or less of the story. So the reason I bring that up is because during this upload, I would get status of I think incomplete, and I'm Googling all over the place and asking around, and people are like, yeah, you probably got essentially a false positive collection. And so I went and I unzipped these files, and it was like, these files were all 30K, 5K, whatever. And then I think the ones down here were like 0K. So it's like, oh, dude, something. And I don't like that.
EDR killed it or something?
I don't know. The one that I'm on, it's on my, at the end of the report, kind of the things we know about passwords to reset section. That's where I have a little bit of a Q&A for them, because I was like, whatever this is, I want to tell people about it, but also not. And also, could you shut it off?
I've seen it generate a lot of EDR alerts. Like, we think a Bloodhound collection is running, even when you're running it from a device that doesn't have EDR on it, that EDR will detect that you're trying to do that. So if you run into that a bit too.
Oh, is it like at the DC? Is it picking that up? Is it picking the queries up? Oh,
yep, picking the queries up.
Which, again, we love that for them, but also it's like, I mean, because to me, it's like, this is stuff you get very early in the engagement.
Exactly.
And get your whole project moving forward. So, okay, so let's check. We now know the SQL hash. Let us take a looky-loo. There it is, SQL box. So, I guess a couple things. Let me know what you look at. I usually double click right away, and I kind of jump to the bottom of this list to go to look in this area. What outbound execution privileges might I have, or what object outbound control might I have? And it's nice. They kind of draw that for you right away.
My face, by the way, was covering up part of that, just so you know.
What's that? Oh, whoops.
Sorry about that. Just when you had that object control,
Is that a little better? Okay.
Yep.
Here we go. Object control. Oh, so generic all over computer.
Oh, the lovely generic all.
Very interesting. And this is whatever. Maybe file this under the obvious department, but it's so nice when you see there's so many different little edge permission connectors you can see, and found that some of them will be obscure, and it's nice to be able to go, well, okay, let me just click on it, and I'm doing Linux based attacks. So, how might I go about this? It's so great where they say, okay, well, you've got full control of a container, so you could change permissions so that those new permissions will inherit down further in the OU. So we could, for example, double click computers, and I think let's see what at the top. Oh wait, computer. Can't I? I was gonna show. Maybe you can't. Can you not see? Can you not see the members of computers? Like if there was 5 computers tucked away.
Wasn't it on the one above? Go back to SQL Academy.
Back to here.
And then collapse that. Wasn't there a member of? No, down.
Yeah, if
you have to expand it again. I know member of right there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Member of. This is a member of domain computers. Okay, I was just thinking that the OU for computers. I thought maybe.
The members of the OU.
I guess I was. Yeah, I mean, normally, I guess on our Windows pen test box, I'm heavily looking at the users and computers GUI, so I could see, right, like this OU contains XYZ.
Right.
I thought maybe we could do that. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it would be, if you saw this on a pen test, I guess it wouldn't really matter to know, well, how many computers does that affect? The fact is it would almost certainly, contain many objects. So in other words, if you can affect permissions of that OU and then have it trickle down, you could, kind of assume administrative control of everything.
A wide swath of machines,
And the other thing I'll do, even though maybe it's like, obviously there wouldn't be anything new, is I tend to go like, okay, from SQL, what is this called again? Academy.ninja. I'll kind of look to see, is there by chance any path directly from an object I own to Academy? And just on a few instances, it draws a path that wasn't obvious just by me looking at the outbound permissions. And you have kind of like a crystal clear picture of like, okay, here's exactly who I need to pwn, or here's the tools I need to run to mess with permissions.
Right.
And you might find yourself domain admin very, very quickly. Okay, so we know, if I just go back to regular search, so we know we have that excessive permission, the ability to wield generic all powers over computers. So as the attack path suggests, I think I have this copied out too, because I think this is a lot. Yeah, so they recommend doing DACL edit for this. So I'm just gonna clear this to give us a little bit of room, and we'll do a little DACL editing, because I think, yeah, well, we got 12 minutes. I think maybe it'd be nice to, I think, see if we could just like jump one more step forward,
right,
just get our pwnage a little bit more buried in this place. Here's what, let me just make sure I got that, because I need that SQL machine hash and I lost it. Nope, I have it. Okay, so right there to right here. Here's what we'll try. So we're going to run DACL edit. We're going to write permissions out. The principal thing we're going to give permission to is SQL, which we have the hash for, right? And our target is that computer's container, and we have to specify it by its fully qualified, object path. So, and you get that, that will show up too. If you're like, well, what is it? That should show up right there. Distinguished name. That's what
DM, yep.
Distinguished name. Okay. I'm authentic to pull this off. I need to give credentials. So I'm going to authenticate as Academy Ninja, the fully qualified domain, the SQL,
the machine account. Yep.
Machine account. Yep. And then the hashes, which we just stole from NanoDump. And then TAC inheritance, I think, means just push those permissions all the way down, or as much as you can. And then .31, that is the Academy Ninja LAN
domain controller. Yep.
So let's fire and see what we get. I mean, it just, anytime you see this word in pen testing in general,
yeah.
Don't you just feel happy to be alive?
Yep. It worked. I'm not sure what I just did, but it worked.
And even better, boy, do I love whenever a tool, especially without an extra flag, backs something up.
Can
so I just
undo
the
mess you just made.
You can undo the environment
exactly
even with that. So that's so reassuring. Okay, so I don't know if this will. Let me try it. I think it's kind of cool to look at this visually. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to rerun. Is this the same window I had that stuff going? I'm going to rerun the collection now, because it'll analyze everything again, right? All the objects, all the permissions, all the relations and things. So let me do that. And I still do you have a good sense of I get confused easy. Like when you've mounted a zip full of AD data, and then you do like I'm going to do right now and import the new one, like, is it smart enough to?
My understanding is Bloodhound is smart enough to put the get data together.
Okay.
And so you're basically seeing it build on that intelligence.
Okay. I think you and maybe our good pal Jeff McJunkin has said that before, where you've just told me like, dude, don't worry about it. Like, you're going to be fine. Just, just upload. And because what I would have done maybe in a real pen test is come to administration, flush out all the data.
Yeah.
And because I don't know, I guess I'd just be afraid that it'd be misrepresented because it's two different collections. But you and everybody else has assured me, just relax. Okay, I don't know timestamps. This is the new one, right? Wait, 1452 versus, that's got to be the one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll give that a second to bake. And while it is baking, I'm going to quick tell you a complete tangent that has nothing to do with with security.
Fantastic.
And I'm embarrassed about it, and I figure why not share it with you and whoever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Anything embarrassing you do, we like to hear about, Brian. So
okay,
go.
Well, this is a first. I've never done this before, nor have I heard of anybody doing this. I TP'd myself in, not peed. Careful.
Yeah.
You
slow down. Slow down.
I toilet papered myself in my sleep, and I'm going to explain real quick. Amy woke up and said, "Hey, did you know that when you got up to use the bathroom last night, you somehow hooked toilet paper on your?" I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Your entire life is an Adam Sandler series, Brian. I'm just saying.
You hooked it on your foot. You dragged, off the paper road, right? She goes, "You walked all the way into bed." She goes, "I got up to go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden everything's in the dark." She goes, "Why do I feel wads of toilet paper at my feet?" And she goes, "I followed the trail. It led to our bed, and it was hooked on your baby toe." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Yeah." So I pulled it off. I cleaned it all up. And I was talking about it. I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. That's a bunch of horse patootie." And then I got ready to go take a shower, and tucked into my t-shirt in the center of my back.
You're like, she put it there. Amy put it there. She had to have. This can't be a real thing.
And she was laughing till about she could hardly breathe. And I'm like, "Is this a prank?" It's my older son's birthday, but this day has nothing to do with me. And I'm like, "Who is messing with me?" And she goes, "Why would I do that to you?" And I go, anyway, that's done. And I start making the bed. There's 2 more handfuls of toilet paper in by like where I would maybe hug the pillow.
Yeah.
And so anyway, my day's been weird, but let's see if we can, in the last few minutes, let's see if we can find,
yeah, back to what were we doing?
What were we talking about? SQL. Let's take a look at SQL. And hopefully when I double click it now and look at its outbound permissions. Oh yes, Joe, the machine scheme, new achievement unlocked. Okay. Yep. So we had generic all over computers, right? But now we've got generic all over web. So, as just a kind of hint for next time, as we look at Linux abuse, gosh, if we've got generic all, we could maybe do a good old classic RBCD attack to get our dirty impersonating admin clause on web. And then I don't want to spoil things too much, but I think we're going to have to kind of hop like the old Frogger Atari and like one slow ponage hop at a time.
So I like that you pulled Bloodhound in, because this is exactly what we do on a pen test. So this being more of a CTF as opposed to just the goat in general. It's more representative, the thought process that we use when we're going about our pen tests. So great job. Great job, Brian.
Thank you. And thank you for the help and helping me stay on track, and also being sympathetic to my toilet paper adventure. And two, I will say, now that I have been, I feel like I'm in 2 worlds right now. I've been just finished up finally how to get to domain admin on this thing. And then now doing these hour deep dives. It's so fun, because I learn something new every time, and you bring to something to light that makes me have the light bulb go on. But like, just to answer a question we get quite a bit, some of these weird things like, generic all between 2 computers are like, is that all like CTF design just to make the CTF more fun? And sometimes it is, but I'll say, spend the time in Bloodhound, because we have seen the weirdest things that really often nobody can answer when we go, "Hey guys, how come?"
Well, there's no blatantly obvious way to see that, right? I mean, in Active Directory, and you do, I think you were about to say, we ask the people like, why is this permission set? And there's usually 2 answers. One, I don't know what you're talking about, or we had to do it because this weird application required XYZ 10 years ago and blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, because you're like, you look at that and you're like, how did this ever come to be? Like, why would you guys ever set this? Who even knew you could set that? Or why would you set that? And it's just, you always get weird answers.
Yep. Last time, I know that befuddled people. It was like there was a bunch of accounts in an environment that were AS rep roastable, and everybody around the table was just like, first of all, what is that?
Right.
And what account? And they're like, we have no flipping idea why it would be those accounts. And then I think finally one kind of help desk person was like, oh, like you said, they were having login issues and we were having domain replication. And
somebody read a Google article that said, try doing this or something. And so they right click and
Well, This was fun. Thank you. And if you'll join us again, well, you're always welcome. But
of course,
I think the next at least few third Thursdays we'll keep after this, because it's I mean, it's fun, but all this stuff we're doing, though, totally applicable to your Active Directory pen testing skills. So I feel like no amount of time spent poking around in here, even though it is gamified a little bit, right? It's designed to push you in a certain path. You're going to get all sorts of skills and familiarity with tools you can for sure turn right around to a real corporate environment and use. So,
and I think what's fantastic about this is we're talking about pen testing, but you have democratized pen testing to the point, and many other people as well, where blue teams can now take these exact same steps and do some of these things themselves, even if it's just in the lab to get an idea from a detections perspective, how to detect something, or just see with your own eyes what it looks like, what potential misconfigurations could be in place that a pen tester is going to take advantage of, and be able to do these things yourself. And then, bring someone like Brian and I in to give a more advanced look at it. But it just really helps blue teams understand how these things get set so that it's not such a mystery when they get that pen test report of like, what is that thing? Just really helps the understanding. So
I wish I could. I probably, like, for anybody in charge of defending Active Directory, if I could just like give them one gift, it would be sitting down and having like an hour primer of just doing what we just did. Bloodhound CLI, get it opened up, take a dump of AD, and just look at it. Like, you could find the bleeding corners of AD, before you have your first pen test, before you have your next pen test, and then and have that be on somebody's maintenance list for quarterly, more if you could, right? But just to keep up on taking away the low hanging attack paths. So
for sure.
All right. Love it. And anything else we need to talk about or plug or do, or otherwise we'll send the movie, the closing movie out. And
I didn't see any additional comments, so I think that's it. Are you ready to plug any training sessions yet or anything like that?
I think definitely by next. Oh shoot! You know what? I should plug another thing and I can't show it. The training. So I'm hoping to have a live session. I've got beta testers going through our new Go to Base training right now, but I hope to offer a live one like middle of October. So I'd like to plug that. I'll have more information on that next month. But I just finished, and I'll send to you to preview. I'm just about to put it on YouTube. We hired this marketing company to come and make like
that's right,
3-minute kind of, I want to call it fluff piece, but that sounds dismissive. I think they did an amazing job. Like a little.
I want to take a look.
Yeah, so I'll get that up, and that's it. Thanks for joining, and Joe, thanks for tackling this with me, and hope everybody has a great rest of your day.
Always happy to be here. Bye, everyone.
All right, bye, everybody. You've been watching or listening to 7 Minute Security, a weekly podcast focused on pen testing, blue teaming, and building a career in security. For more episodes like this, visit 7ms.us. And for information about our consulting services, visit 7minsec.com.